Hello and welcome to my first makeup tutorial. First of all, I want to apologize for the camera quality. It is not the best camera, but it's all I have right now. Moving forward. Also another heads up, I don't know why the camera is so overexposed at the beginning, but I do fix it later on in the video. Let's continue. First you put on the wig cap. As you can see, I am going to struggle here in just 2 seconds. And there she goes. Up, she's struggling with the wig cap. And you're just gonna put that on first because paint is paint and it's water-based, but paint, I hate paint. So here we are. You're gonna want to get that wig cap all the way up to that hairline, and also I'm layering it with another headband for the paint, because what I'm doing is an airbrush style, but I will also teach you how to do the paint part if you don't have an airbrush. Now you grab your fancy latex and a silver plate. You mix those together. You can use the latex I recommend or any kind of latex. Just make sure you do a patch test if you've never used latex before. That's me dancing. You're gonna see that every now and then because I'm listening to music or whatever. I don't know. And you grab some toilet paper. Yes, you grab toilet paper. Now you just mix those together like I said before. And you don't eat it. Don't. Oh my god. Okay, so basically just put it on your face and just pat it where you want the smile to basically be placed. Next you grab some toilet paper, rip a very tiny section off, and place it on the cheek where you put the latex on. You're going to want to make sure the tissue is matched with your lips, so it's connected all together. It'll make sense later. Now what I'm doing here is adding latex on top of the tissue and just patterning that on outside the edges, inside, all over. What I'm doing next here is applying latex on the outside of my lips to connect with the tissue. It makes more detail rise faster, if that makes sense. It details. It connects it all together pretty much. And with that, you were done with one cheek. Part of mine ripped a little bit. It will show in a second. There we go. That's okay. That's fine. You can work with that. It will all match up together. So don't panic. It's fine. Just don't panic. Now that you're done with that cheek, you're going to move on to the next cheek. Don't. Hey, put it down. Alright. Fuck you too, you fucking... You're gonna do the same side with the other cheek. I'm gonna fast forward. It's basically the same thing. I should have started with this cheek, but you know what? My brain cells weren't working, as you can see. So, little montage. Whoa. Whoa, that's crazy. And you're done. Now you're gonna let those dry for about until they show up as clear. I'll show you in just 5 seconds after this one starts dancing. You know what? Hold up. Alright, I cut myself off dancing. As you can see, it is clear. That's where you want it to be. Where it feels dry. It's just, you can see inside your skin. That sounds terrible. Be careful with scissors. Don't, bad influence. Stop, stop! Okay, bad influence. So basically what you're gonna do is, you're gonna want to talk a little bit to get it adjusted, and then you're gonna want to very carefully snip only the latex. You can pull on it just a little bit, just make sure it doesn't rip, and just snip. I haven't found a really easy way to do this. I remember back in 2018 when I did this live, everyone was like, be careful, which is really nice. But I don't know how else to do it safer, so I just do it this way. And I just make sure I go really slow, very patient. I'm going to fast forward it in a second because it's going to take a while. But just letting you know, take your time. Don't rush. Just take your time. And we're back. As you can see, it's pretty thin. That's how you want it to be. It's going to make a big difference by the very end of the results. Very good. And now you're going to do the same on the other side. Cue the montage again. Ah! And wow, you're done. I'm proud of you. As you can see, I kind of went a little too deep and it's kind of got bigger, but that's okay. That's fine. It makes it a bit more realistic, I would find. You'll see how in the end. Now what I'm doing next is pulling the latex just a bit lifted so it looks like your cheek has basically been slit, and you can fill it in with color, which I'll explain more later. It's just details. And you just want to do that not very far back, but very I want to say half an inch, but I don't want to say half an inch. Smaller than that, pretty much. In about 5 or 10 seconds from now, you're going to see me cut a little bit off, modify it a little bit. You can do whatever you would like. I personally want it to look very realistic, so I cut off the beginning. You see that big chunk by my lip? I just want to cut that off so the smile looks more attached to my cheek, pretty much. And wow, you're all done, at least with that part. Now off to painting. Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be using my airbrush because I personally think it gives me more of a fuller look. Also, I'm still learning how to use the airbrush, but this is the paint that you can use. It's like $13 on Amazon, don't quote me on that. But it's really good, especially for my skin tone. I would always have to do many layers, but with that paint, I wouldn't have to do as much, if that makes sense. So I really recommend the paint. And you just take a beauty blender and just tap it out, or you can use a brush, whichever you prefer. But for now, I'm going to use the airbrush. This is going to be a montage of me just using my airbrush. and you're done after like half an hour later. But that's basically how I do it. I always keep it like 3 inches or away from my face. What in the fuck am I doing? What the fuck? What the hell? I'm sorry, I actually don't remember that part. What the fuck was I doing? Hi, if you're dead ass curious, I just remember what I was doing. I was cleaning the paint that splattered everywhere onto my mirror. So that's what I was doing. I just totally forgot about it. As you can see, I'm cleaning it right now. I was very confused. Okay, anyways. Now what you're gonna do next is start with putting white in the inside of your eyes. This does involve eye pulling, so if you don't like that, I would skip a little bit of head. But basically, I'm just pulling my eye down and filling it with the white Beauty Creation? Is that what it says? Beauty Creation. I looked on the website where I got it from ColourPop like a year ago, and it doesn't seem to have it anymore, and I'm really sad because it was my favorite gel pencil line. So I had to find a new one. But yeah, basically I'm just filling in the bottom of my waterline with white, and I'm gonna be filling the outside with black later. I don't have anything for my corner of my eyes where it creases, so if it creases for you, that's totally fine. I forgot to buy something for it. I forgot what it was called, but yeah. Basically, I'm just refreshing my cheeks, my chin, nose a little bit, and I think my forehead with the paint because I got the paint off my cheek and I'm really devastated about it apparently. So I'm just filling it in. It's fine. And then I'm gonna powder it later. Next, you're gonna grab your powder. I personally use this powder for like white paint. As you can tell, I really like this brand. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was, but I find their brands being really helpful. I'm using a brush that I have not cleaned yet, and before you put it on your face, you're gonna want to tap it into the lid before it gets too cakey. So you're just gonna tap it. Mason, tap it, please. Tap it. And you're just gonna want to smudge it on your face pretty much. And cue the montage again. Then next what you're gonna do is grab some eyeshadow, brown eyeshadow in fact, and just blend that on top of the lid and in the middle. This gives it more of a smoky effect when you add the black eyeshadow. I unfortunately didn't have black eyeshadow. I just got it today actually. I'm recording this like 2 weeks later. 3 weeks. And I'm gonna use my airbrush. So yeah. Now if you're using more of a eyeshadow, you're going to do the same thing, just layer it on top of it and just blend it out. I usually use brown eyeshadow for the first layer to use kind of more of a shadowing effect for more detail. You don't have to, you can just use black eyeshadow if you want to, but yeah, you just put that on your lid, blend it out. It might crease at some point of the area of the eye. I usually just add layers to it. Then next we're gonna focus on a smile. About time. Here we go. Now, personally, I like the Ben 9 bruising kit. That is what that is. I couldn't find the lid for it. So I usually use the dark red and mix it with the blue to get that deep dark color inside between the mouth. It pays more attention for detail if you use like a light red. It will still work. I'm just more of a detail person, so those are the two I used. I'll take the deep dark red first, and then I'll just put it in between. Remember how we talked about that upper lid, like with the latex, you just out it like a ½ inch above and below to leave like there's some sort of a gash in there. You're gonna want to fill that in with the red, because when you talk, it will move along with it and look realistic. I also added like the bottom of my lip, as you can see right there, to add more of a blended effect. And of course, I'll do the same as the other side. And voila, you got a slit mouth. Now to just add some blood. Blood can be tricky. I used to use a lot of blood to cover it up because I wasn't that good at makeup, but now I try to not use as much blood so you can see the detailed work that I put into it. This is the blood scab I will be using today. I'm okay with it. It's not my favorite, but I had it for like a year and I've never opened it, so why not? This is the day, I guess. Someone just yesterday got me a better one, which I'm really thankful for getting it off my wish list, which is really sweet. I didn't expect anyone to, so I will definitely be using that next time. So right here, I'm just grabbing my little tool. I forgot what that is called. You can use a brush or anything, and I'm just putting it lightly on the edges of the mouth, like on the lip, if you will. Crease, a cut of the mouth. I'm not gonna put it like very much inside, but I'm gonna put it like around pretty much, just to give it that detailed effect, like, oh shit, so I just cut my mouth open, oh no, I'm going crazy, ah, basically basically those kind of vibes. As you can make and guess now, I'm gonna do it on my other side too. And voila, boom, you're done. Pretty simple so far. Oh my god, my thumb is black. Wow, holy shit. Okay, anyways, continuing. Next, we're gonna get the good old stuff. Ben 9 Stage Blood. I use the minty ones because you can actually put that in your mouth. It's mouth safe. Can I say it tastes like mint? I forgot. But I'm going to say yes. But don't, like, actually drink it. I mean, you can swallow it. It's swallow safe. But just don't, like, chug it like it's wine. Do people chug? I'm 21. I should know this. Do people chug wine? No, they don't. They take little sips of it. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So basically, you just put it inside the mouth, like the slit, and just do that. Yeah, you're off camera again. Good job. And just add it a little bit around the mouth. Why not? Extra detail. And this is where I get the most questions on how I make the blood splatter so realistic. I use a sponge, an SFX sponge to be precise, and I just gently dab it, not too much. Just scrape it off the lid there you go, and just dab it on the basically cut. And I don't like to go overboard, but sometimes I do because it's fun, you know? But I try not to go overboard. As you can see, I'm just going gently across the cheek, down by the mouth, up top of the mouth a little bit. Next I'll grab a paintbrush and dip it into the blood and add some strokes from the cut down to like the jawline. It's fun to do. I feel like it creates a lot of details, just makes it more realistic, but I won't do it as bold. I'll just do it as gently strokes as possible down the cheeks so it doesn't look out of place. Now, last before least, I try so hard not to forget this part, but I use a black mascara. I recommend that one because that's the only one I pretty much use, and I go on my lashes to miss any white parts that I did miss and just go through it all. Next thing is to add a wig. Personally, I'm going to use my hair because I am still trying to find a good Jeff wig. And then boom! Look at that! That's the final product. So I hope this helped at all. If you were wondering for contacts, the contacts I use personally here are from Pinky Paradise. You can use my code GHOSTY10 for 10% off if you would like to. And that is all for the Jeff the Killer makeup tutorial. Thank you for joining, and thank you again for all the support. Bye-bye.